Hi friends, welcome to Broken Curious, and today we're going to be seeing if we can take this set of rotors that I found in the backyard, some more rebar that I got lying around, and this block of oak. We're going to see if we can turn it into a planishing anvil stand for the mechanic in our family. So the idea here is that one of these surfaces is going to be polished up to a literal mirror finish. You don't want any scratches or anything like that that's going to translate to the work being done on it. And what I'm hoping this will end up being used for is some car trim, lighter detail work. I'm hoping that this block can fit into the middle. We can hold a forming bag there. So we're going to get started on that, and the first step, as always, is cleanup. Alright, so now that we don't have to have a panic attack about rust in the shop, we're going to start to plan out our project. And so I know that I decided this one is going to be the top because it has the least amount of dense dings and everything else in it. And I know that I want to put a forming bag in the center area. So I know I'm going to have to put an inlay in there, which is going to be made out of this oak that we got. But the oak is 1.5 inches thick. That is only 13/16. So I don't want to take and make this piece out of this whole block. I'm going to take it over to the chop saw really fast. And we're just going to cut a bunch of 13/16 strips. Now, because our diameter is about 5 3/4, we're gonna just make our piece 6 inches. So I'm gonna cut 4 strips of that are gonna be 1.5 inches thick each, glue them together, and then we're gonna start surfacing this top area, which means a lot of making my neighbors hate me with all of the grinding outside. But it's a beautiful day, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm kind of lazy at heart, and I really don't want to measure this 3 times, and I also want exact cuts. So I'm going to set up a little stopper, just using my level and a ruler, and a clamp, of course, to keep it held in place. But all that we're going to do with this is I'm going to bring my blade down to where it touches the outside of that tooth right at the start of my ruler. Then I'm going to slide my stopper to right where I want it at 13/16. We're just going to take a little clamp, slide it on over the side, and get that started, and we'll micro adjust back. So while the glue's drying for that inlay, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the rest of it. Now, the sandbag that I want to put on the inside here is going to be 8 inches in diameter. And my rotor on the inside diameter is actually just shy of 8 inches. You can go ahead and take a peek over there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it into the vise. And I'm going to take my angle grinder and I'm just going to knock out a bunch of these fins that are on the inside. That's going to allow the lip of the bag to sit in, tuck in, and look really nice at the end. Let's bring you guys up and around and see what we did. So when we were doing that, as you can see, I kind of started to get this cut in. So now I have a little bit of a recess in there for that lip to sit in. So I'm going to go ahead and keep chasing this around. After about an hour of micro adjusting, I have everything just where I want it to be. I'm level, I'm square, all my measurements are good. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this side in, and then I'm going to double check and make sure that everything's still good, and swing around and go ahead and tack the other side in. That way I can work on the concrete, just set this up, and have easier and safer area to do my welds. I'm going to be kind of right in front of you guys for a lot of this, I'm sure, and I'm sorry, that just kind of is what it is. I'd rather I be able to see than you guys, to be honest. So we're just going to tack these in really quick. You can see I got a lot of gap in area, so I can get some good penetration on this. Turn our wire feed up a little bit. Alright, coming down off of the table, you can see we are straight up and down. Looks pretty good. It's not quite as solid as I would have hoped, so this might get shortened up. I don't know. We're going to see how it does after we get the rest of that welded in. But step 2, rusting, still in effect. Trying to go for a nice nutmeg color on that. For round 2. Okay. And now, grinding. Now it's all solidly welded up, and I started messing with it. And the first thing that I noticed is that I still have a little bit of wobble. You know, my base is solid. My movement is actually coming from up inside. And what's happening is that whenever these wobble, you can see they get closer together. So what I'm going to do to resolve that is I'm going to take a bunch of my little scrap pieces, we're going to cut off, and we're going to go at some sort of an angle up in between these. We're just going to come down and reinforce it in between, and that should take care of that springiness and give us a really solid table. So there you can see that we're starting to work up and around, and we're just going to keep going piece by piece. I'm going to get all these in, and then I'm going to go through and finish weld everything, and we should be pretty good to go. Pretty well and ready. I'm going around doing the finishing welding on our outside circle. So we're gonna just go ahead and keep doing that. we're setting up for some cleanup. Finally got my baby back from the shop, so we're going to be doing most of it with this guy. I'm just going to be doing that the same way. I'm going to start on one end and I'm just going to keep working it and rolling it with my best work angle. I just have 120 on this right now because all that I really want to do is knock down the top of these welds and just kind of polish it up a little bit. Yeah, we're going to move the welder too. Alright, so after a while of a bunch of 40 and 80 grit, I finally got all the pock marks out from the rust and most of the deep scratches, except for one little pit right there that I just can't quite work deep enough to get out of easily. So that one might end up staying there. But we're going to start stepping up and through. I'm going to go over it for a little while with some 120 grit. Okay, so after measuring the inside circle that I want to do the inlay for, we got that transferred onto our board here that we glued together, and we're just going to take it over to the chop saw and clean it up and get that ready to round out. I have my degree set to 31.26. This I'm going to be able to just keep cutting around and around and around and pretty well and trim that into a circle. Alright, so the time has come to paint this. I got my top and my bottom taped off, got it all cleaned up, see, we just got some Rust-Oleum that we're going to use. So we are going to paint all of the above black. Coat 2. So while that's drying, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this inlay. And I think I'm going to burn it. You ready to see it, Moose? I had a lot of fun doing this project. I'm really happy with how it came out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know what I can do differently. Make it more enjoyable for you guys. Make it a little bit easier on me. I like both of those things. Hope to see you guys again.